Something interesting happened on the way to cancelling Christmas. In this paper, Public Health England describe a new variant of COVID that has, they say, been detected at significantly higher viral load than the old strain. The paper makes a sequence of errors. It's also the paper that got the world locked up over Christmas. And I like Christmas. So I'm prepared to do the math. In individual infections, viral loads peak then fall. Either you beat the virus or the virus beats you. It is therefore an inevitability of a new viral strain that the new strain infections are, well, new. That is to say, they are going to be earlier in the infection life cycle. Older strains will be detected at all stages of the viral life cycle, including in the low concentration later stages. The stellar minds at Public Health England didn't think of this though, and instead attributed it to an increased infectiveness of the new strain. William of Ockham would have cried. There are actually many possible reasons why the new strain might test at higher viral loads, of which higher infectiveness is only one. There is also the age of infection. It's a new strain, so it makes sense you would only see new infections. New infections are earlier in their life cycle and have higher viral loads. And of course there's also the possibility that the samples taken are too small to be numerically stable. This kind of error happens a lot. There are statistical differences between male and female chess players. But false conclusions arise from the difficulty of statistically matching the players to remove confounding variables. Even in something like chess, you can't determine if the differences are due to gender or other variables. Public Health England did nothing to investigate alternative possible causes, they just cancelled Christmas. Which made me angry, so I did the maths for you. All the numbers that follow are from their paper. In the paper, Public Health England shows two things of interest, a calibration and a set of results. Quite accidentally they destroy their own case, and more impressively, they also destroy the case for the whole of the rest of the world's COVID PCR testing protocol. The first thing to look at is their calibration study, performed in a clean lab with synthetic targets of known concentration. The purpose of the calibration is to show that the measured CT number produced by PCR testing can be used to imply a concentration of viral parts. The calibration is stated to be an average of 6 repeats. The first warning sign that things are not right is that several of the agreement numbers are impossible to achieve from a group of 6 repeats. The second warning sign is that several of the CT numbers are very far from where they should be for the known concentrations. This tells you that the process is inaccurate, even under perfect conditions, and even when averaged across 6 repeats. If even in the perfect scenario, the calibration result looks like it was performed by a monkey with a hammer, then the confidence you should have in the real-world results should be adjusted accordingly. Nonetheless, this is the data they publish, so we will roll with it. Ready? Let's take this turd apart. Regression of the calibration studies gives us the CT number associated with a certain concentration of viral parts. The regression can be done different ways, but the most generous leaves us with the following observations. At a CT of 37.0, the threshold of detection is less than 1 N gene per milliliter. At a CT of 35.3, the threshold of detection is less than 1 ORF gene per milliliter. At a CT of 38.1, the threshold of detection is less than 1 S gene per milliliter. This means that CT cycles beyond these limits are detecting less than 1 gene per milliliter of sample. 1 gene is the resolution limit of the test, performed under perfect circumstances. Results with CT values above this are detecting impossibly low levels of genetic material. The calibration study also shows us at what level the repeated 6 tests stopped having complete agreement. This is the level at which the tests start to lose reliability. The last stable CT values are much lower than the resolution CT limit. 30.8 for N gene, 25.8 for ORF, 29.1 for S gene. According to Public Health England's own calibration data, all test results with higher CT levels than this are unreliable. In the same paper they publish this plot. Yellow shows where the calibration data shows the result is unreliable, and red shows where it is impossible for the stated CT value to be achieved, because it is beyond the resolution of the test. Their own data in their own paper shows that 30% of the ORF results are unreliable, and 28.7% of the N-gene results are pulled from resolutions that were unreliable even under perfect circumstances. That means at least 28.7% of all COVID PCR positive tests are potentially invalid. 11 of the results are published as positive despite being ruled out by the calibration as being beyond the resolution of the test. So, the geniuses that cancelled Christmas have accidentally given us something in exchange. The COVID test case numbers, the dubiously defined dead with COVID numbers, and every decision made as a result of that was wrong. By at least 28.7%. Public Health England owes at least a quarter of people who tested positive for COVID an apology. But it gets worse. Because using the same protocol, Imperial University's REACT survey used the following criteria for declaring a positive test: positive on one gene before a cohort of 35 and must be positive on a second probe before a CT of 37. In the USA it is common to call out a positive result on any one gene at a CT of 38 or less. So, both of these are provably wrong. It's not a matter of opinion. There is no debate to be had. Imperial University in the UK and the government of the USA are wrongly using PCR to overstate COVID cases. But I did not prove it. Public Health England did. Accidentally. We can thank them later. For now we need to understand what this means. The science driving public health policy has never been more dubious. Don't take my word for it, read the work by Public Health England. Be kind to each other. FTS